Hello children, welcome back to my talks and welcome to standard 11th English, okay, Hornbill. 8th chapter we are going to do today, that is Silk Road. Okay children, all 7, this will be the last chapter because few of the chapters are deleted from this year's portion, okay, due to the pandemic, you very well know. And this 7th chapter is already deleted, okay, that is the adventure is deleted, and we've come to the Silk Road. Okay, so Silk Road, and the author is Nick Middleton, and this particular story, okay, this is a religious story, or you can say the religious journey of the author. So that is expressed in this particular story, Silk Road. So let us begin with the summary. So this story, okay, this is an account of the journey from gently rolling hills of Ravu to Mount Kailash, and the purpose of this journey, okay, was religious. This is a religious journey, and the narrator wanted to complete his religious journey at Mount Kailash. Okay, so it's very cold over there. So Lamo gives him a long coat, okay, made of sheep skin coat, and to keep him to keep him warmer during that cold winter. So that is the beginning of the story, and the narrator and Citan took a shortcut to get off the Shangtan. Okay, so they try to take a shortcut to the distance, okay, and that is how they go. So this route would take them southwest almost directly towards Mount Kailash, and it involves crossing fairly higher mountain passes. Okay, so in order to avoid the higher mountains, okay, they would take a shortcut to reach up to Mount Kailash. Citan said that there would be no problem if there was no snow. So he said that there won't be any problem if snowfall wasn't there, if there was no snow. And this shortcut took them across vast plains having arid pastures. What is arid pastures? Dry plain lands. Okay, so that was there, and it would be not difficult to walk on that. And they saw a few gazelles and a great herd. Okay, the charvaha jisko kehte hain, okay, and the asses, the wild asses and all that, okay, all these sort of animals over there in that arid land. And they also noticed clouds of dust, okay, because it was all dry, the land was dry, so the dust cloud was rising in the skies. So as hills came once again, they passed shepherds tending their flocks. So there were shepherds, and they were looking after their flocks, okay, so they passed those people, and these people were well wrapped because it was cold over there, so they had covered themselves. They paused for a while, they stopped for a while, and stared at their car passing off from there. So sometimes they would wave as the car passed near them. So as the car moved from these flockers, okay, the passers-by, they would wave at the people, at the author in the car. So when the track took the car close to the sheep, the animals would try to avoid the speeding vehicle by dodging to one side. What is dodging to one side? As they took the car towards the animal, where the animals were grazing, okay, the animals looked at them and they moved towards one side as if they were neglecting them. Okay, so after that, the narrator and Citan passed the dark tents of the nomads in lonely places. Okay, and after all this, the narrator and Citan, they passed off, they drove the dark tents of the nomads. Nomads, again, like vagabonds, people who stayed over there. Okay, so they passed all that, and finally, now all the lonely places they crossed. So a huge black dog, that is Tibetan Mastiff, would stand to guard outside. Okay, and those tents, outside those tents, there was a huge black dog as guard. And these dogs raised their big heads erect and watched the narrator's car. So the dog, he raised his head, okay, and looked at the narrator's car. As the car came closer, okay, they would start barking and running towards the car. Okay, the dogs were completely fearless of the vehicle. The other animals neglected the dogs were all fearless. Okay, Citan had to apply brake and turn aside. They would run in front of the car. So what Citan had to do, he had to apply brake and move the car out of the way. Otherwise, they were coming on the way. The dogs would stop barking only after chasing them off the property. Okay, जहाँ तक उनका क्या बोलेंगे, जहाँ तक उनकी प्लेस था वहां तक वो बार करेंगे. They would drive the car away from their area and then they would come back. Okay, so that was how the dogs were. Then they entered the valley, and the snow-capped valley, the place between two mountains. Okay, and the snow-capped mountains were visible on the horizon. Now the mountains were visible. Okay, and the river in this valley was wide and mostly blocked with ice. The river which flew through this valley, that was very wide and blocked with ice. The track kept close to the river bank and twisted with the curved banks. So that river kept moving here and there. Okay, with curved, you can say the curved banks it had. It was not flowing very straight. Gradually, they gained height and the valley sides closed in. So finally, the valley sides, it became narrower, and they were finally climbing up the hill. They started climbing up the hill. The turns became sharper and the ride bumpier. They started rising up the mountain. Okay, it was becoming more difficult for them to drive. So Citan drove in third gear. The car was being driven in third gear. Okay, and the narrator felt the pressure building up in ears because they were going up. Okay, to the heights, and the narrator could feel the pressure. Okay, it was very high pressure up, so he could feel it in his ears. He held his nose, snorted and cleaned them. Okay, so his nose was also getting blocked because definitely oxygen concentration is lesser as we go higher up. Okay, and they struggled round and another tight bend. So finally they were really struggling in driving as well as health wise. So Citan stopped, he opened his door and jumped. So Citan just stopped the car and he jumped out. Daniel too left the vehicle, and there was snow on the track. Okay, so because there was snow on the track, both of them jumped out. It stressed for his door and jumped out. Okay, both of them came out, and it stretched for about 15 meters. Till 15 meters there was snow on the track. Okay, so then it became smaller and the dirt trail reappeared. So it was coming and going. They were able to see snow, and beyond that they could see some dirt. Okay, but there was no way around the snow patch as there was snow on either side. On both the sides there was snow, and there was no way through which they could drive beyond. And moreover, the bank was too steep for the vehicle to scale, and they were at about 5,210 meters above sea level. They were quite up, and it was difficult for them to scale more high. Citan grabbed handfuls of dirt. He flung them across the icy top layer, and the narrator and Daniel joined him and threw dirt. So what did they do? They took the dirt from down and they tried to flung it up. Okay, Citan drove the car slowly and carefully on the icy surface. Okay, what they did, they tried to throw some of the dirt on the snow, and he tried to drive the car very slowly on the ice surface. Okay, Daniel and the narrator stayed out of the vehicle to enlighten Citan's load, and to lighten Citan's load, okay, car की वजन थोड़ी कम हो जाए. That is why two of them had come out. They were walking. 10 minutes later, they stopped at another blockage. Okay, and this time Citan decided to try and drive round the snow. Okay, so finally after 10 minutes again they stopped, and the snow was there, and Citan decided that he would take a round around the snow. The slope was very steep, okay, and full of big rocks. Somehow Citan got past over the difficult route. Once he cut a very sharp bend, and they continued to climb the bright sunshine. They crept past 5,400 meters. Okay, and this is completely, children, how they went up, how difficult it was, the complete story it is. There's no interest in that, but still, because you have to study, you should know it. Okay, the narrator's head began to beat terribly. Okay, and he took gulps from water bottle. He drank water because it was definitely his head must be aching seeing the driving route. Okay, finally they reached the top of the pass at 5,515 meters, and there was a large cairn of rocks, and it was all decorated with white silk scarves and wrapped prayer flags. Okay, they reached where they had to reach for the prayer. As I told you, it was religious. They took a turn round the cairn in clockwise direction. Normally, जब भी पूजा के लिए जाते हैं तो हम clockwise direction में परिक्रमा करते हैं. So that is what he's talking about. The lower atmospheric pressure was allowing the fuel to expand. It could be dangerous. So Sitan advised them not to smoke. Okay, so it would be difficult and it would be dangerous to smoke. So Sitan told the other people along with him not to smoke over there. So as they moved down the other side of the pass, the narrator's headache soon cleared. As they started moving down, okay, the headache, everything got over, and it was around 2 o'clock, and they stopped for lunch. They ate noodles inside a tent, a canvas tent, and the plateau was pockmarked with salt flats and brackish lakes. Okay, so all these they came through, and by late afternoon, they reached the small town of Hor, and they were back on the main east-west highway. Okay, it followed the old trade route from Lhasa to Kashmir, and Daniel found a ride in a truck to return to Lhasa. So Daniel got into a truck, okay, to come back to Lhasa, and Sitan got the punctured tires repaired. His tires had got punctured, so he got it repaired. And narrator found Hor a grim, miserable place with no vegetation, no plants, nothing over there. Okay, so they had tea over there in one of the cafe, and they left Hor after half an hour. They drove past the rocks and rubbish westwards towards Mount Kailash. And after 10:30 p.m., they drew up outside the guest house in Darchin. Okay, one of the narrator's nostrils was blocked again, and he was tired, hungry, and gasping for breath. I told you, as we move up, okay, it would be difficult for us to breathe because of deficiency of oxygen over there. He could feel better when he sat up. Then he could breathe freely. Okay, and he stayed awake full night. And the next morning, Sitan took him to the Darchin Medical College. Okay, and the doctor over there saw his pulse, okay, asked him few questions and gave him medicines for cold and exhaustion. He was tired due to this altitude, and the narrator slept soundly at night after the first day's course of medicines. Okay, and when he recovered, Sitan left him as he had to return to Lhasa. So Darchin had some simple general stores selling Chinese cigarettes, soaps, and supplies of food, human food. So all the men, they gathered for a game pool in front of the general store. Okay, women washed their long hair in that icy water. You can imagine how cold. And of a narrow brook near the guest house. Brook is small flowing. What? Let me know in the comment box. Okay, what is brook? You have studied in 9th standard. Okay, so let me know what it is. There were no pilgrims over there, and Darchin had only one cafe. It was very small, dark, and cave-like, empty. And he meets Norbu there. Okay, he was a Tibetan, but worked in Beijing at the Chinese Academy of Social Science in the Institute of Ethnic Literature, and he could speak little English. Okay, he too had come to do the Kora, means to complete his religious journey over there. And Norbu was very fat. He found it very hard and tiresome to walk or to go up. He wasn't really practicing Buddhism, okay, but he had enthusiasm and he was a Tibetan. So the narrator decides to make the trek in the company of Norbu, and instead of waiting for the devout believers, they hired yaks, okay, to carry their luggage. And Norbu said that he had no intention of prostrating himself all around the mountain. He did not want to go around the mountain. It was not possible for him as his tummy was too big, okay, and he laughed in an extremely funny way while doing so. Okay, definitely not a very interesting chapter, children, but then it is there in your course. You will have to do it. Okay, so just give a reading to the chapter, go through the video and see. If you are not able to understand any of the terms, do ask me any sentences. Okay, I'll clear it up. And then as I've told you in the previous video, I'll be putting the links of NCERT questions in the description box. Okay, so do open over there and get the link for the answers. So prepare that and keep your notes ready. Thank you. Thank you for